Hi, I'm Jim Studebaker. Thank you for joining me today for our exciting webinar on how to strengthen your sphere for an Invincible 2019. We're very glad that you are here with us today and to tell you a little bit about what we're going to be going over during this show. So today's objectives, we're going to talk about why your sphere is worth the time to put it together, the cost of acquiring new business versus repeat and referral business, what size sphere you need to meet your revenue goals, and we have a calculator that we're going to go over to show you that, how you can build your own powerful sphere, and marketing that makes it really easy to connect. Now, whether you're a new or a seasoned agent, you need on average 200 to 300 people in your sphere of influence. And we'll talk about who should be in there, how you're going to get those people in there, and how you're going to stay in touch with those people. So for now, put your phone on silent. Don't leave until the end of this webinar for a special surprise. It's only about half an hour, so you can book that time and get ready to learn something. So you'll also notice there's a chat function on the GoToWebinar page. If you have any questions during today's webinar, just type them in there, and we're going to monitor them. In fact, we have Lisa Gray with us here in the studio. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, I'm very excited to be here and ready to help in any way that I can.
All right, perfect. So Lisa will see all of your questions, and she will respond to as many as she can. And time permitting, we will do a couple of questions and answers live on the air here today. So let's go on. So it's not uncommon for an agent to be in business for years and never have an SOI. Or maybe you've got some kind of an idea of a sphere of influence, but it's not manageable for you. Well, you're not going to build a referral business if you're not keeping in touch. So let me go over the top 5 reasons why your sphere is worth your time. So, number 1, it costs less to maintain your sphere's attention than it does to gain the attention of someone new. That makes sense, right? Number 2, they have a higher propensity to do business with you because they're in your SOI. Number 3, it's easier to work with a warm lead than a cold one. Number 4, a sphere is still the best way to ensure sustainable, repeatable, and predictable income. And number 5, it allows you to build a sellable book of business. Have you ever thought of that before? Think about what you're going to do when it's time to retire. Other businesses, medical practices, insurance, attorneys, they're all compiling a book of business that they sell when they retire. Why shouldn't you? Agents who say that doesn't happen anymore are the agents who don't have a book of business. So let's go over some stats. The National Association of Realtors states that 64% of all business is generated from 4 main sources. Number 1, family. Number 2, friends. Number 3, close acquaintances. And number 4, anybody know what it is? Referrals generated by the first 3 groups. Now, how much easier would your life be if you were taking a bunch of inbound calls rather than chasing down leads? Well, that's what we want to do for you today, is make your life easier. All right, so next up, according to the National Association of Realtors Home Profile of Buyers and Sellers, 42% of buyers last year came from referrals. 11% of buyers came from repeat business, or their past clients, and 41% of business on the listing side came from referrals. Now here's a great stat. According to NAR, 89% of home sellers said they would use their real estate agent again. Now here's a bad statistic. Only 11% actually do use the same agent again. Why is that? Because they forgot all about you. And that's a shame, because it's so easy to stay in touch with these people. All we have to do is build a strong sphere and nurture it.
Okay, wait, hold on, Jim. Before you go on, I have a question for you. This
All right.
one is from Jim, actually.
Perfect. I like your name.
Jim is asking, how do you define a sphere of influence and or decide who belongs there?
Well, that's a great question. If you're going to build a sphere of influence, you probably should know who should be in it, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, perfect timing, Jim, because that is coming up on the next slide or two. We'll find out when I hit the magic button here. So let's start out with why agents don't cultivate a strong sphere. Maybe they're too busy. Maybe they're not sure how to communicate. Maybe they hate to prospect. Maybe they don't have a system in place to streamline the whole process. Well, I'm just going to assume that because you took the first step to watch this webinar today, that you're not too busy to build a sphere of influence. You know how to communicate. Maybe you don't love to prospect, but you know how to do it, and you'll do it if you need to. And maybe you don't have a system in place, but by the end of today's show, you will have a system in place. So let's talk about who should be in your sphere. Anybody who knows you by name and face, likes you, and trusts you should be in your SOI. Now, how many people should be in your sphere of influence? Well, that depends on you and how much money you'd like to make this year. It's not magic, it's just math. And we have a great online calculator that I want to show you right now that explains how you can find out exactly how many people you need in your sphere of influence. Here we are. Here's our SOI calculator. So Lisa, could we reach out to some people to put some real-world numbers in here? We'll do maybe like 2 or 3 examples and we'll see what we come up with.
Sure, and what we're looking for, so everyone go over to your chat box. We need to get your 2 numbers from you. What you would like to make in 2019 and what is your average commission currently. So hop over there, let's get some numbers typed in here and I will grab a couple of them for you, Jim.
Perfect, perfect.
Let's see.
While you guys are doing that, I will share the link for our SOI calculator at the end of this show, so you can go on there and plug in some numbers yourself and see what your particular answers are.
Okay, it looks like I've got some numbers here from Robert. Robert says he would like to make $200,000 this year, and it looks like Robert's current average commission is $6,500. Thank you, Robert.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Robert. So all we have to do is type in, we'll type 200,000 in this field here. How much money would I like to make? And then average commission was $6,500?
Yes, $6,500.
$6,500. And then we click the button here, calculate my SOI. And here we go. Look how quick that was. These are your numbers, Robert. 31. You need 31 transactions in 2019 to achieve your goal.
Wow. Okay, all right. That's very interesting.
That's
wow,
good.
that really gives a lot of information. I actually have one other one. Oh, go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
We got more good stuff here.
Okay, go ahead.
So the next number here is 20. So we know that 66% of your business is going to come from your SOI, which means of those 31 transactions you're going to do in 2019, 20 of them are coming from your sphere. Okay. And here's the final stat in the yellow box, 240. So if 1 of every 12 people in your sphere provides a transaction in 2019, you will need 240 people in your SOI to meet your goal. So that is the magic number, 240, is the number that Robert needs in his SOI.
Wow, Robert. Hey, I'd love to know how many do you have in that sphere right now.
Yeah.
But that's your number. What great information. I'm just looking through some of the numbers we have here. Let's see if we can find something a little different. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is Letty, and it looks like Letty is saying her average commission is $4,000.
Okay.
And Letty is stating she'll be happy if she can make $80,000 this year. She said she will be a
right.
A happy lady in 2019 is exactly how she puts it.
All right, 80,000. That's a good goal. So we will type those numbers in and hit the green calculate button. And just like magic, these numbers have changed. So Letty, it was. Letty needs 20 transactions in 2019. 13 of those will come from her, I'm assuming that's a her, SOI. Yes. And based on one of every 12 people doing a transaction with you, Letty, you will need 156 people in your SOI.
Wow, wonderful. Wow, that's really interesting. By the way, Robert came back. He says he currently has 100 people in his sphere. Sounds like he's got a little work to do.
So all you have to do is a little more than double your sphere. So hopefully you make friends easily. So.
Hey, at least you know. Now he knows.
That's
Knowledge
right.
is power.
That's right. Anyone else, or should we move on?
I think we've given a couple good examples.
All right, perfect.
I say we're ready to move on.
So that is our SOI calculator, and again, in just a few minutes, I'm going to give you the web link so you can get to that yourself.
Wonderful.
So after looking at some of these numbers, what's going on in your head? I figure either one of two things is going to happen. Either one, a light bulb is going off, and it's saying you realize now that you need more people in your sphere. Or number two, you've got enough people in your sphere, according to the math, but you're not getting 66% of your business from them.
Jim, before you go on, I'm going to try and sneak a question in here.
All right.
This is from Mary. She is from Buffalo, New York, and I think she thinks I'm not paying attention to her. She asked if I can see her chat, so she's asked a question a couple times.
We see everything here, Mary.
She's asked a question a couple times, so I want to be able to respond to her. She is asking. I'm sorry. She says she has just relocated to Buffalo, New York, and doesn't know anyone. How is she going to create a sphere?
Well, that is a great question, and I'm assuming that you interjected right now because you know what's on the next slide, which is people who should be in your sphere and how to find them.
Actually, I interjected because she seemed like she was getting stressed at me not responding.
Okay,
but it sounds like it's good timing.
Good timing because we don't want Mary stressed, especially after moving, and especially after moving to Buffalo. So.
Right.
So let's talk about how you can build a powerful and effective sphere of influence. So start by viewing your closings as the beginning of a new transaction via referral or repeat business. Ask early and ask often for future business. Ask everybody that you know. Make it easy for people to know who you are, what you do, and how to find you. Leave a trail through marketing like direct mail, refrigerator magnets, door hangers, so they can find you easily. Stay in touch consistently and change it up so they don't tune you out. Show your appreciation for them. And finally, get organized and put systems in place. You need to have the right people in your sphere. The bottom line, and I call this the sphere success formula, pretty catchy, right? Is to know your numbers, stay in touch, be consistent, and have systems in place. If you don't have systems, it's going to fall apart after 1 or 2 months, and then what's the point? Have a system in place so this happens for you all the time. So we've come up with 10 easy ways to stay in touch with your sphere. And conveniently, you can find these on our website, ProspectsPLUS.com. So here we go. Number 1, send a birthday postcard. Number 2, send an anniversary postcard. Number 3, send a holiday postcard out every month. Number 4, in the fall, send out some football schedules. Number 5, before the end of the year, send out some magnetic calendars. Number 6, send a content postcard with fall or spring maintenance tips or other design ideas. Number 7, send a recipe postcard. And for those of you who like recipes, we have a lot of those on the site. Number 8, send a free offer postcard offering a home equity analysis or any other type of free offer that you might do. Number 9, send a community newsletter. Number 10, send an offer for a free report. We have a lot of these reports on our website that you can use. So as I mentioned, all of these pieces are available on our website, ProspectsPLUS.com. And we've actually come to the conclusion of today's webinar. I told you it would be quick. Before we wrap it up and show you the special surprise that we're going to give you just for sticking around, do we have any further questions, Lisa?
Yes, we do have one outstanding question. It is from Becky. And she is asking, do you know what percentage of agents actually sell their book of business?
Well, that is a great question. I do know that answer. And it might surprise you to know that it is actually less than 1% actually sell a book of business at the end of their career, which is amazing because if you've been in the real estate industry for a number of years, you're going to have a huge book of business, and that is valuable information. I mean, think about it.
It's a commodity.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there are missed opportunities, a lot of missed opportunities with that.
There is. Now, maybe the reason that people aren't selling a book of business is because they haven't started one, which is my great segue into our 2 bonus things for you. Special gift, special surprise, number 1, is our powerful sphere building book, The Business Base. And the Business Base is going to help you build your book of business so you can use it throughout your real estate career, and when it's time to retire, you can sell that book of business. And special surprise, number 2 is our brand new book written by our very own Todd Robertson, and it's called Become a Listing Legend. This is a wonderful book. We're going to send it to you as an ebook so you can read it wherever you happen to be, and you will certainly take away several great ideas from that ebook by Todd Robertson. So if you have any questions, here is the number for our Client Care Center. It's 1-866-405-3638. Or you can email our team at team@ProspectsPLUS.com. I thought that was pretty clever myself. And the link for the SOI calculator that I promised you from earlier, here it is. It is www.ProspectsPLUS.com/SOI-calculator. And that will take you directly to the SOI calculator that we looked at earlier today. And you can punch in your own numbers. You can punch in multiple times to see how your number of SOI people changes on the calculator. Thank you very much for joining us. I am Jim Studebaker signing off, but we will see you at our next webinar.